Welcome to another episode of the podcast Beyond a Reasonable Doubt. Today we are in Hua Hin, Thailand, and our guest is Santanee Ditsayabut. Welcome.
Welcome to Thailand and welcome to Hua Hin.
Thank you so much. Santanee, you are not only a dear friend, but you are also a senior expert prosecutor at the Attorney General's office here in Thailand, and you are the director of the Secretariat in the Nitivajra Institute, who is promoting effectiveness and quality in the criminal justice system. So it's an honor to have you as a guest on our podcast today.
It's an honor for me to be your guest too. Welcome to Hua Hin, and it's so nice that I have a chance to talk with you.
Thank you so much. Well, the theme of this year's season in Beyond a Reasonable Doubt is implementing investigative interviewing the near and far horizons. So the first question I would like to pose to you, because I know you are leading a project in Thailand called Peace Program Informity, where you bring together people from different agencies.
In the criminal justice system.
Yes, exactly, where you are systematically trying to implement investigative interviewing in your country. So when we dive into that, I would like you to reflect a little bit, in your opinion, what is really the ethos of investigative interviewing, and why do you think that can promote quality in the criminal justice system here in Thailand?
Okay, so when I first learned about investigative interviewing in maybe 5 years ago, to my opinion, I think of investigative interviewing as the way to find the truth without assuming the fact unintentionally. And I think it is the best way to apply the presumption of innocence principle, which is a principle that we as the law enforcement officers was taught since day one that we enter the legal world. But in reality, maybe sometimes you forget. So I think investigative interviewing is more than just questioning. You know, you need to look at it as a whole process, not only the questioning step. It is only one step, but you need to look it as the process of discovering the truth. Just begin with the planning and preparation. It's everything, and it's also, I think, it's a process of gathering the reliable evidence, and it's really benefit the prosecutor that if the evidence was gathered with the reliable source, we can prove it beyond reasonable doubt in court. So I think learning about investigative interviewing help you aware and understand also how the brain works, how the brain functions, and you know how to respond to it systematically, and in order that you can get the best result of the inquiry process. So that is a fascinating of the to know about investigative interviewing. Not only following the principle of human rights, but you know that the reason behind why you should respect the human rights, because it affects behavior of the person you question, and later it results in the most effective outcome of the inquiry process.
I couldn't agree more. As you know, I have been involved in a similar pioneering project in my own country, and for very much the same reason, I can say. It sounds very familiar. Are there any particular challenges in Thailand that you think we should need to address, and why investigative interviewing is particularly interesting here?
I think the challenge is like really impossible. You know, because in the past we did the questioning. It's like, okay, it's a question. It's just you ask and another person answer. But investigative interviewing, you require more process than just go into the room and give a question, right? You require the process of planning and preparation. You require the process of thinking thoroughly. I think some officers said that you don't have that time. When you get the criminal case, you need to act quickly. So it's no time to do such a thing. And they don't feel like the way that, okay, respecting human rights is good. It's an international standard, but they don't see that it will affect the outcome of the case. So we need to link it, you know. Challenge is like, is it possible because we don't have time? And is it also the result is effective or not, or it just follow the international standard without unnecessary burden. That is a challenge in Thailand.
If I can add, I have been lucky enough to visit Thailand for many times over a period of more than 30 years. From my personal view, I think the Thai culture is a very respectful and polite culture. So I would say also that the respectful and polite and dignified way of interviewing that ethos can help you with actually in many ways should fit very well with Thai culture.
Yeah, actually, we didn't do the torture or how can I say, use force in interviewing. That is not normal in Thailand, of course. But I think there's still some myths that we didn't understand and we didn't aware. For example, the simple one that I can see that sometimes police think that okay, if you interview the suspect, you need to be patient, you need to be persistent. So you have to ask them maybe 3 hours straight and then 6 hours, maybe sometime overnight because it's a patient. You need to be patient, but they didn't know that it's not effective. That if you keep asking question for the person who already exhausted, maybe they say something that they don't want, something like that. It's not intentionally, the right, but they just don't know that it's not effective. I think investigative interviewing can help make them aware of all the confirmation bias or the tunnel vision that maybe you don't know. So once you learn about it, you can make yourself aware before going to the questioning room. What you see maybe not you is not what's the real thing. And also the suspect, maybe two person that speak differently. Maybe doesn't mean that one person lie, another person tell the truth. Maybe both tell the truth. Something like this. Yeah, and like our brain is not remember in chronologically, yeah, the event. But we was taught that okay, when you ask the question, you should ask them step by step. Day 1, 2, 3, but it's not like that. This kind of thing, I think, it make the investigative interviewing is fascinating and eye opening for us.
Together, Santanee, and together with my center, where I have my guest professorship, the Norwegian Center for Human Rights, and also the Thailand Institute of Justice, and we're also supported by the Association of Prevention of Torture, APT. Together, we have been lucky enough to have quite a lot trainings around Thailand together over the last years. We have the prosecutors. We have trained special detectives from DSI. We have been training at the Royal Police Cadet Academy, and we have also trained different investigating roles, capacities from the Ministry of Interior and other agencies as well. Also, I remember at least some of our training, there have been judges present.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the general impression amongst your participants that you pick up? Is this catching on in this country? Do they like what they receive in these trainings? And what is the kind of the vibe? Is it popular?
Yeah, I think to my understanding, and I see it through the training that once you know about the investigative interviewing, you will love it. At least because it's kind of unlocking something that you didn't understand. Why the interviewee say that? Why? Because all of the participants that we have trained is a law enforcement from different organizations. We even have one soldier, and they exchange their views a lot. That okay, now they know that what they did wrong in the past and what then can they improve. And investigative interviewing is not just like studying. You need practice, and practice mean that in the training they have a chance to try and they learn it by themselves from the inside. That okay, this is work and this is not work. So I think once I get a feedback from the participant that first is their eye opening, they understand more, and it's also so much fun because just like sitting and listening, but they discover by themselves, either look at the video tape and try to remember. It opened their eye that in the past they thought that one eyewitness they should remember everything, but then now discover by themselves that even themselves cannot remember everything, or even their friend look at the same videotape, but they remember differently. Some can see, but some cannot. So this kind, I think they're quite interesting for them. And yeah, I think they can apply not only in their work, but in their daily life. And many of the participants come back to me and they said that they would like to introduce the principle of investigative interviewing, especially the peace model, to their coworkers. And they're interested in doing more training, because investigative interview is not just like you give them a book and they read. You need a training, and you have to invest more in the training, which is not just studying and lecturing, but it's the training that kind of workshop, the intense one. So maybe my worrying is because it intense one, we cannot accept a lot of participants at the same time. But small number, but all of them can spread the word and become bigger society to the investigative interviewing. Now I heard from many participants that they have ever heard about it before, but they can kind of like for one time lecture. But once they train with us, they understand more and they think it's more effective. Otherwise, like first time learning, and they as come back to the first question that I answer you, that they wonder it's good, but whether it's possible in Thailand. Yeah.
Well, these are the issues we face everywhere. Of course, you have to understand the philosophy behind it, the connection to international legal standards and human rights standards. That is, of course, the process quality of interviewing, but also the theory of psychology and how the method is has to be, not to contaminate and your evidence. But finally, also, this is not only a theory, it's a skill. It's something that you have to build.
That's the correct word, skill.
So it's something, if you don't do it, you will lose the skill, will go away. So it's like you have to practice it to become really good at it. And it's hard work, and that's something that you need feedback on to improve, honest feedback. But I would like to say that I would also like to honor the way you have been working with this for so many years, Santanee. And last week, I think this was crowned by, personally, I was invited to meet the Minister of Justice in Thailand.
Yeah.
And His Excellency was clearly aware of the development in this country. And he asked me to help to continue to assist in this development in your country. And he wanted to do as many training as possible, he said. And we also had the company of the host of this podcast, the CEO of David Hornborg Hansen, where the minister was particularly interested in how also technology connected to investigative interviewing could improve the quality and effectiveness of the Thai investigative procedure. So I think this is a clear evidence that the word of your work is spreading and catching on, and even on the highest levels in the Thai society.
Thank you for your comment. And it's you made me now remember that actually, if you want to make it work, investigative interview, not only training practitioner, you need a support from policy level. That is most important one too, and the equipment. So what Nitivajra Institute, as we I think we are like, I'm not sure, maybe not the first, but the front line that know about investigative interviewing, and I think give the importance to it. We're trying to match the policy level and practitioners. For example, during I organizing the training of investigative interviewing in Hua Hin for our second cohort, my supervisor also met with the high level in the office to talk about what you just mentioned, that how we can make it like at the policy level, and how we can use the equipment to help in doing it in Thailand. For example, one things for investigative interviewing that is important is you should record the interviewing, right? But in Thailand, nowadays we didn't do the recording, except the case of the high profile case and the case of interviewing with a child. But now we can see the benefit of recording the interviewing. And with the nowadays technologies, you can do it easily. It's not really burden. If you see the benefit of it, I think it can make your work faster. Yesterday I talking with one of participants because I asked them, okay, because they already finished the first round of the simulation, and she's the person who already questioning one of the suspect, and she used like less than 40 minutes. I said, you already interview all this? Yes. How long does it take? 40 minutes. And I asked her, what do you think? How long that is take when you do it traditional way nowadays in your real life working? And she said maybe 2 hours. I asked why 2 hours. She said that because she has to talk with the witness before, and then to know somewhat about the event, the incident, and then just start the interview. So it takes time. But if you investigate interview, you just put on the record. And with the technologies, I think you can transcript it and you can look at it. It's less than what you are doing now. So I think if you can make them see, you can eliminate the myth that you take a lot of time if you're doing the investigative interviewing.
I think you are so right. In the beginning, it might seem more resource demanding, but when you do it the right way, it's actually more effective because, first of all, as you say, you spend time on planning.
Yeah.
So you don't go into the interview not knowing exactly what you should be looking for. That's time consuming. If you roam around and don't knowing what you're looking for. And also the fact that you're going to be more effective in the meeting with the suspect, the witness, or the victim, so that you can go in there, do this interview, and dismiss them, and later the transcription can be done. And this is also one of the technological projects that we have planned to start here in Thailand, and we will use actually the material from your training.
Yes.
Because it's less problematic from a GDPR point of view to build AI transcription tools. And we will actively use the recordings we do from your trainings to see how accurate and reliable we can make these automatic transcriptions. And of course, then we are moving quickly forward into not only higher quality, but also higher efficiency. So based on that, what would you say that the Thai, if you think about it, I know you quite well personally, but I know that sometimes you worry. I can see it in your face when you worry. Mostly you are one of the most pleasant and happy persons I know. But when you worry about this future of investigative interviewing in Thailand, may I ask, what is your worry? What do you think can be the barrier or the most important things that can make this not go as quick as you want it to?
I think my worry is the mindset. Yeah. The mindset not of the policy level as well, because investigative interviewing is like, as I mentioned before, once you learn, you know about it, you will love it, and because it will make your work more effective. So for the practitioners, I'm not worried because the practitioner, even when they train, will aware and they can see the benefit by themselves. But we cannot train the political, the high level officers. So how can we show the high level officer that is this useful and it can enhance the effectiveness of criminal justice system in Thailand, so we can get their political view to support the work. So how can we bridge their understanding? Practitioner, once they get trained, I think their mindset change, but they need a support because once they walk out of the training room and they go to the real world, if they not get the support from their boss didn't understand what they're doing, it's kind of limit their capacity. And also the technologies, it should, in my view, it should come together. I would like to make it possible in Thailand. First, political view. Second, practitioner mindset. And then technologies, advanced technology equipment. So if you can get all of this, I think the future will be bright.
I couldn't agree more. Actually, there's one thing I think is quite rare about the development here in Thailand, in particular compared to other projects that I have seen around the world, is that you have been as I mentioned earlier in our conversation, you have been able to bring together experienced practitioners from many different agencies, more or less reflecting the whole chain of justice here in Thailand. And that seems for me like a big strength, which I think is quite rare. And of course, my personal background comes from the development in Norway, where when we were doing this, didn't think enough about how this development will change not only police work, but also prosecutors' works. And in the end, defense lawyers and judges' approach to interviewing. So if you don't change the whole chain, how can you get a real effect of it?
Yeah.
So that is, I think it's, so what would you say would be the next step in Thailand?
I think the next step in Thailand, I think we are doing more of what we are doing now. You just mentioned about how to pull together other organizations toward the same goal. Our participants from the first cohort, so once they know about investigative interviewing training program set by Nitivajra Institute, they're satisfied and they spread the word. So the second cohort is not difficult to get the right person, and it even go beyond the criminal justice system. Is go to like the word goes to military. So one military asking to join, and so that is underline the word that once the practitioner under the investigative interviewing, they satisfy and they are easily changing their mindset and spread the network. So you invite people that you think that they will be the champion in the future to join us, and then the network growing more. So the challenge is how we can keep this kind of network spreading and give them their support. And also, as you mentioned, investigative interviewing is about the skill. So you need to practice. It's not a one-time training and that's it. You need to keep the network active at all time. So support them, make them grow, and also showing them and their supervisor the benefit of implementing the investigative interviewing. So we keep growing and make it sustainable.
I think you're so right. And I think it's really fascinating because I think your mindset here is also linked to a wider Asian culture and mindset that you seem to understand more intuitively that processes like this have to take time.
Yeah, of course, it takes time. Can you see in the past, maybe we I think we passed the age, the ancient age that you have to swear or to have to like to go to the process, you know. Yeah, you use all the magic. But now we have like the criminal justice system, and I think it can move forward. And also one thing that I forgot to mention that sometimes if we have to change the law, we have to amend the law to complement the process.
How about judges?
Yeah, actually, it's we see the importance of involving the judge because he's the person that has the role to decide. If he doesn't understand about the how we get the evidence, maybe he overlooked. I'm a prosecutor, so I have experienced some of the judgment that underlie with confirmation and tunnel vision. For specific example of one case, the witness was raped by her stepbrother and she doesn't want to believe that it is real. But if the judge understand the reason why, there's the alternative reason why the victim say differently from the fact, because she doesn't want to admit, maybe the outcome of the case is different.
That's so true. So because this is actually evidence evaluation, and for us who have the opportunity to study psychology, the real function of the brain is not to come up with a realistic and accurate memory. It is to process this memory so that you can live with the emotions.
Yes.
So sometimes actually the memory is there to help you to create a lie that you can live with.
Yes, that's the things, yeah.
If you don't know that as a prosecutor or a judge, you may be incapable of understanding and you might automatically think about this victim as unreliable when she's just undergoing a very normal process.
Yes, and actually, this at the end it will create a miscarriage of justice, which is the things that we should avoid.
So that also tells us that investigative interviewing is more than the actual PRIEST program and the steps in a model. It's a science-based universe on how to understand and collect evidence from human beings and memories. I have one last question. Because of course, we are celebrating in one way. This is a very important year for the development of investigative interviewing in Thailand. This year, and actually this week, we are in the process of certifying the first trainers and the national champions for the peace program in Thailand. So it's quite exciting and fascinating that we have gotten this far. You said that we need high-level strategic understanding of how to necessarily to invest in this. How can we get attention of this kind of decision makers to be willing to make that investment? What is that you need in order to get to that goal?
I'm thinking, how can we make them see the benefit of investigative interviewing by themselves? Maybe we need some kind of evidence base, or maybe we need some kind thinking of something that he can experience it in the first-hand knowledge, learning from by him or herself from the real experience from the country that already implemented successfully.
I completely agree. So maybe a study trip to a country where this is kind of integrated in the full chain of justice. And also maybe technology can play a part here.
Yes. Technology, study trip, or even listen to the source that is the trustworthy source. So it's not like the one person saying, but the feedback from the trust that the high level believe. Maybe we have to do some kind of the influence.
Absolutely. But also I know that you are engaged. You also have your own lectures at the Chulalongkorn University where you are teaching the future lawyers.
Yes.
So as you said earlier in this conversation, the long-term perspective, you need to be patient.
Yeah, you need to be patient, and you need to create grooming our future officers to learn about investigative interviewing. And this is also come back to the component of the participant in the peace model course. So we gather not only young practitioners, middle level, and also the prospective policymaker in the future. The component of the participant in the training will create the atmosphere that to move forward the investigative interviewing in the future in Thailand.
I couldn't have said it better myself. But Santanee, by that, I will thank you for a very nice conversation and for taking part in our podcast today.
And also, I would like to thank you all the way for the Norwegian Center for Human Rights that you support us to implement investigative interviewing since day one in Thailand. And now we're growing our partner with APT, TIJ, and I think there's many more because we all see the benefit of investigative interviewing to enhance the effectiveness of criminal justice system, not only in Thailand, but around the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Santanee. And I think this is not only about Thailand. I think Thailand is leading the way in Asia. I was going to say Southeast Asia, but I actually think Asia, where Thailand, the way you have been leading this project and many other, your colleagues also, not only you, there are many high-ranking people who invest in this. And I think it looks like Thailand is going to be one of the absolutely leading nations in Asia on this.
Thank you very much because I think let's make it universally agreement. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.